A lot of you guys have asked, how do we have a consistent confidence in things that we do? It's easy to be confident in certain situations. Maybe in your work, you've been doing it so long, you know exactly what you're doing, so you feel confident at work. Or, you get a nice compliment about something that you've done and you feel confident. And those are quite easy to get. The question is, how do we get consistent confidence over a long period of time? And I think to get there, we first have to understand, what is confidence? And I think that confidence is the way you see yourself. It's your self-image, your self-esteem, and whether you think you're good enough or not. I know that one of my insecurities is I seek a lot of approval from people. I want to be, I often talk about being a writer or doing lots of these different activities or businesses or whatever it is. And I say that hoping to get approval from somebody else, hoping that somebody will look at me and say, you are good enough. Because I think, if I'm honest with myself, I do love it when people look at me and think that I'm pretty good at something, and I feel quite loved by that. And I think that's not necessarily confidence, that's more of an insecurity. So the question is, how do we look past our insecurity and rather just feel the confidence that's within us? So I had a chat with two really good friends about how to build confidence, and we came up with a few ideas for you guys. Let's say that you're insecure about something. Let's say that you're about to do the speech in front of a school or in front of your colleagues or whatever it is, and you're feeling really insecure. We've all had that, little sweat stains everywhere, and you're just like panicking, and you don't know how to, you don't know what you're going to do, or you're hyperventilating. How can we feel more confident in those situations? So the first one is, ask yourself the question, will this matter in 5 years' time? Now, that's such a powerful question, because when I was in grade 7, I remember doing this one speech for the school, and this one irritating guy in my primary school, he came up to me afterwards and he said, "Lawrence, you made such a fool of yourself, man. You were blabbering on, no one even understood what you were saying." And it hit me so hard for such a long time, and I look back at it now and I'm like, man, who cares what actually happened there? And maybe if we could ask ourselves that question just before we're about to do that presentation or that speech, or we're about to do something out of our comfort zone, we could say, listen, even if it doesn't work out, in 5 years' time, am I even going to remember this? So if it's going to not be important in 5 years' time, should it really take up a lot of my energy and insecurity now? The second thing is, I think confidence comes from your ability to do something. You're confident when you know what you're doing. So I think the best way, or one of the best ways to build confidence, is to practice on a regular basis. And when I first started doing these videos, and you can go down to my old videos on YouTube, those are terrible. First of all, I had this terrible haircut, and I was shaved on the sides and terrible hairstyle. I was wearing wife beaters, and I was, but that's where I started, and that's where I had to start. And I think now I'm getting a lot better. I'm feeling a lot more confident and comfortable because I've done so many of these videos. And in 5 years' time, I won't even have to practice, hopefully, and it will just be a natural conversation. And so you start to grow in your confidence, and you're able to do more. So it's about starting small, practicing, and just expanding that bubble a little bit more. Also, when I started with YouTube videos, I had a whole script, and I planned the script, and I learned it. And now I'm trying more conversational style. I'm trying to just engage with you guys. And so I'm starting to build that confidence and build that, maybe I can do this, and building that ability. Another really powerful way is to build confidence is to try and build your self-belief, your belief in yourself. And that's a tricky one. I don't think we're naturally taught at school to believe in ourselves. We get graded on everything that we do. We always get told what we're doing wrong. We always get this percentage, this label to say, you got 50% or 80% or 90%. We never get encouraged to say, okay, maybe I'm not so academical, but maybe I'm really good at sports or cultures. Let's rather focus on that. No, it's always about academics. It's always, you haven't done this well enough. So I think we get conditioned from a young age to always look at what are we doing wrong and where's the improvement. And that's a natural conflict to self-belief. So in order to build your self-belief, I think that we have to understand that a belief is actually just an idea that's been repeated time and time again. If you have to imagine a table that the top of the table is your idea, and it becomes a belief when you put enough legs under the table that makes this table really sturdy. So for example, the belief you might have is that I'm not good at public speaking. So that's just an idea. That's an idea that you're not good at public speaking. But you have one bad experience in grade 7 where you're speaking in front of the school and that irritating guy comes up to you and says, man, you were blabbering on. You create, and then you have now a leg to that table. Now this starts to become a little bit more sturdy. And then you have a bad speech at a wedding, and then you meet this nice girl and you don't know what to say, so you feel like, I can't speak to people. And you start to build these legs and these little reinforcements to this idea, but ultimately this was an idea. Bad at public speaking, that was just an idea that's been reinforced by a few memories in your life, a few situations that have happened. No one is born a good public speaker. No one's born with those skills. It's just an idea that you've reinforced with a whole lot of beliefs. Now, the thing is, if we can create beliefs like that subconsciously, what if we consciously create beliefs? What if I rather say, I am good at public speaking? That's the idea. Now let me go and look for memories that reinforce this idea so that the table becomes sturdy, so that it becomes a strong belief. Maybe I can say, look, I didn't do well in grade 7, but when I got to matric, I did a really good oral exam with English, and I was able to speak at my dad's birthday on the spot. So you're creating now little memories or associations that's going to give this belief sturdiness. So I think what I'm trying to say here is that belief is something that we do subconsciously. It's an idea that's reinforced. And usually we do it in a negative way, but if we can consciously choose the beliefs we want, or the ideas, and reinforce them in the way that empowers us, we can do that. Remember, the belief, I'm not good enough, that's a belief, and I am good enough, that's a belief. It's an idea that we just need to reinforce. Another great way to build your confidence is to surround yourself with supportive people. Just before we started this video, I was feeling a little bit insecure about what I was saying, and what should I say, or how should I message my wording here? And I'm surrounded by my 2 best friends, and we actually just took a break. We sat back and we just spoke about it, and they were telling me about what they thought was going to work and what wasn't going to work, and they gave me some encouragement, and they just kept telling me, you know what you're talking about, and this is what works, and it's just so nice to be able to feel comfortable enough to say, guys, I feel a bit insecure, or I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to speak about. And for your friends to sit there and say, it's okay, man, you're doing so well, and to support you. And we get to choose the people we want to spend our lives with and who we surround ourselves with. And I think when you choose the right people, your confidence will naturally grow. The last idea that I have is to live with love and to be loving. I know me, I've got really ambitious goals and really ambitious dreams, and sometimes I'm hard on myself and I say, man, you were supposed to be there 2 months ago, or you were supposed to be financially free already, or you were supposed to have done this deal already. And I can sometimes be hard on myself, and I'm sure you can relate with that. And maybe just being a bit more loving and supportive of yourself, and to say, you haven't got there yet. That's okay. Look at how far you've come though. Look at all the things you've already achieved. So, thank you for listening. I'm trying to figure this out along with you guys, and that's why I love these videos, because as much as I'm trying to teach you, I'm also trying to teach myself, and I'm trying to learn these things. So I think when it comes to confidence, we have to realize that confidence is something that requires us to have a good self-esteem, good image of ourselves. Now we can do this by creating a perspective, a realistic perspective, to say, I'm insecure about the situation. Will it matter in 5 years' time? And if it's not going to matter then, it shouldn't matter now. It's about surrounding yourself with supportive people, living with loving intent and being kind to yourself. It's about practicing, starting small and expanding your realm, and about creating those beliefs that are empowering. Remember, a belief is an idea with the legs under it, the supporting evidence that makes it sturdy. So if you don't feel like you're a good painter, maybe it's time to change that belief, change that idea. Rather, start painting, create a few paintings, and try and look at the good stuff you've done. Maybe you haven't created the masterpiece, but you've already got the paintbrush, and you've got the paint, and you've started drawing, and your mom likes this one. And you start building your confidence and your belief in yourself in that way. So I hope this was an interesting session, and I look forward to seeing you next time. I learned that very quickly when I got into corporate, because that's the only thing you look forward to after a while. The only thing you look forward to is the weekends, TGIF. You get to work on Monday and it's Blue Monday. And then it's Terrible Tuesday, and then it's Wacky Wednesday.